All right, we are so excited that you have joined us today. We are here with meteorologist Brian Goode, and we're getting some questions answered about electricity and what that has to do with lightning. So we're going to go ahead and start this. Brian, if you want to introduce yourself, if you have anything else to say, that would be awesome.
And at least today it's nice, beautiful, and sunny out. So hopefully you guys will join in and that's so far.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started with our questions. Question 1.
How is lightning created?
Good question. How is lightning created? Lightning is, if you take it down to a really small scale, like if you were walking to the house, you walk on your carpet, and you go and you touch the doorknob, and all of a sudden you get that little shock feeling, you actually created lightning in your home in a very small level. Lightning is basically a situation where you got charges in the sky, and they don't like each other. There's positive and negative. Positive and negatives, yeah, they don't mix well together. And whenever we have thunderstorms that develop, we have a lot of things that move in the atmosphere, especially little water molecules. And when they move around, they have a tendency to get charged up. And we call those the positive charges. And whenever they build up into the cloud, they always try to find something opposite. You always see that term, opposites attract. It's kind of the same scenario when it comes to charges. They don't like the other side of things. So positive charges look for negative charges. And then when they do eventually connect together, you actually see a lightning bolt that is created, and that tries to balance things out. And that, unfortunately, can be at the ground level where you're standing at. So you got to be careful because you can actually have the charges build up around you if you are the tallest thing around, and you can be the connecting piece to a lightning bolt. But lightning is basically just electricity that forms, and actually, believe it or not, lightning itself is only about an inch wide. It looks really big. You see it in the sky, but it's only about an inch wide in the sky itself. But it is very, very hot and very, very dangerous.
All right, question 2.
How is lightning an example of electricity? Is it an example of static electricity?
Yeah, it's a great example. As I mentioned about the idea of walking on the carpet, you touch the actual knob, and you get that little shock. Or you can touch your friend even, or even the car. When you go outside to get to the car, you touch it, it shocks you. And that means there's opposite charge on the doorknob or on the car that form. And the two connect together, and you get that little shock feeling. Now imagine, that is just static electricity is very, very small, very minor, and it doesn't hurt. It just kind of catches you off guard, makes you step back a little bit, like, oh, well, what was that? Now imagine that on a huge scale, and you can see why it would be so dangerous to get struck by an actual lightning bolt that would actually take place. But electricity itself loves to flow through different things, including metal. It flows through water especially. So lightning is very similar idea. So lightning is a perfect example of how electricity itself works, but we actually see it. We don't always get to see electricity other than the idea of the light bulb that's in your classroom. All those lights above your head right now, that's electricity flowing through, but you don't normally see how it gets there, and lightning shows us how it gets there.
Awesome. Question 3.
Why is lightning dangerous?
Lightning's dangerous because, you know how the sun's hot, right? Well, a lightning bolt, just one lightning bolt, is about 6 times hotter than the surface of the sun. Now,
today's temperature outside, we're forecasting the high temperature right around 60 today. Oh, I can hear you guys now. So
Oh my goodness.
Forecasted temperature today right around 60. The lightning bolt can get up to 54,000 degrees. What a huge number. So anything it touches can hurt you. So keep that in mind. It's very hot.
I don't want to touch electricity.
All right, question 4. So you can hear us now?
Yeah, it's real low, but I can't hear you now all of a sudden. Yeah.
Okay.
Does lightning travel through objects?
Can lightning travel through objects? Yes, it absolutely can. In fact, that is probably what makes it the most dangerous, because it can travel through metal and through water. That's what I always tell you, don't get in the pool during a thunderstorm. If you can hear the thunder, you can be struck by lightning. Even if it's completely sunny over your head, if you hear the thunder, you can be struck. So you need to get inside as quickly as you can, because lightning loves, electricity in general loves water, and they'll travel through it. It can travel through the pipes in your home. So say you're taking a bath. Lightning, if it strikes the house, it can actually travel through the pipes in the house and actually get all the way into the tub where you're sitting in. So that's why we always tell you, don't take a shower, don't take a bath during a thunderstorm. Wait until it passes, and then you can do that. Don't get on the telephone either, because an actual telephone, see this wire here that's attached to me itself? Now, most people have cell phones, but this is a wire phone. Now, if lightning were to strike the TV station right now, it could easily travel through this wire and go right into my ear and give me a very funny looking hairdo and probably hurt me. Not a good idea, right? So it's very dangerous to stay away from wires and water especially, and get inside during lightning.
All right, next question. Come up really close. Okay.
Is lightning considered kinetic energy, potential energy, or both?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you there. Could you repeat that?
Is lightning considered kinetic energy, potential energy, or both?
Oh, you guys got the big question today. Is lightning considered kinetic or potential energy? You know, that is that's always been a big debate. As you guys have been studying, you know, potential energy is the amount of energy that's, you know, stored, that something can produce, that it builds up. I was talking about those charges, how the cloud builds up charges. That would be an example of potential energy. But whenever it actually creates the lightning bolt, you actually are creating motion, and that would be more kinetic energy. That's what the heat does. And electrical energy is a form of kinetic energy. So lightning is probably more of an example of kinetic, but there's still a lot of debate about the potential side, because in my opinion, if you get a really busy day in the atmosphere, we know there's going to be a lot of movement in the cloud cover, there is going to be potential energy for lightning to develop and strike. So I think it's a mix of both, although technically, because it is moving motion of energy, it would be listed as kinetic. Good question, though.
Awesome, thank you. Okay.
Why do some poles have lightning rods at the top of them?
Lightning rods. Do you guys know who invented the lightning rod?
No.
I couldn't hear you.
They do not.
They do not. It was Ben Franklin. Ben Franklin was the first one to do it. Remember, he flew the kite with a key on it. That was the first example of a lightning rod. And we still use them today, because as long as you make something the tallest object around, especially metal, the lightning will be attracted to that. The charges will be. So if you can actually attract the lightning bolt and force it into the ground to where it doesn't hurt the building, doesn't hurt anybody nearby, that's a good thing. So a lot of big cities put lightning rods in so they keep the people safe. I need a lightning rod around my car probably all the time.
All right, I'm going to open it up for any other questions.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, come on. You sure? Okay. Colton?
I'm not that scary on the big monitor, I hope.
What is the definition of lightning?
What was the definition of lightning?
Yeah.
Like, if you had to define it, how would you define it?
I would define it as the symbol of energy, I guess. Being able to see energy in a visual form. The thunder part of it all is where the air actually expands and contracts back again, and I think that the lightning is a perfect example of that expansion. So we can't see energy all the time. So lightning is a great example to see that visually take place. I think it's visual energy. That's how I would explain it.
Thank you. Okay, next question. Kylie, come on up.
When lightning strikes, does it start from the ground or from the air?
It actually starts, well, it could be two different ways, but in most cases, most of the strikes that you see, begin at the ground and go up. But we do have a lens in our eyes, and I'll zoom in on my eye here. We have a lens in our eye that actually reverse it, so we actually see it the other way around. But most lightning strikes start at the ground.
Okay, we're going to do one more question.
Okay.
Cody Henriot.
How come most lightning starts from the ground?
What was that again? I'm sorry.
How come most lightning start from the ground?
How come most lightning starts from the ground? Well, thunderstorms build up charges in two different layers. The top of the cloud can be positive, the bottom of the cloud can be negative, which means that the ground will then have to be positive. Again, it's opposites attract. So what happens is that the charges build up on the ground level. If you're standing outside, say you have long hair, your hair could actually begin to rise on top of your head, and that is the positive charge flowing up through your body, trying to reach toward the cloud. That's not a good thing. That means that if you connect, if that cloud sees that charge going through your body, it's going to want to attract to you, and you want to move quickly. Same thing with lightning rods, trees, tall buildings. The charges start building up from the ground and surge upward toward the cloud, and once the cloud sees you, it's too late. The cloud will then try to connect, and a lightning bolt will form. It happens so fast, though, that's why we don't see all that happening in front of our eyes. We only see the lightning bolt because the rest of it's invisible.
Oh, that's really interesting. Okay, what do you guys tell him?
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thanks for your patience getting started and all that good stuff.
Hey, it's great. It's a learning experience, and I enjoyed it. This is my first time doing this, so congrats, Lakewood. You guys are doing awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you all. Have a good day.